Hi everybody, and welcome to video 10 in our Autumn Fairies series. And you're probably wondering why there's nothing on the flip through board. Well, first of all, Autumn Fairies is the finishing book to the series I did last year, which was Winter, Spring, Summer, and then the Fall Fairies or Autumn Fairies book. The kit came out too late, and I was in the middle of doing Christmas and everything, and I didn't have time to do it. So I thought I would do it for this autumn. Now, I realize this is the beginning of September, but some of the stuff has started to turn, and I think that autumn can be done now. So first, quickly, as a recap, since it's been a year, this was our Winter Fairies book. And it was full of eyelash trim in this silvery sparkly color, and we had some lace inside. We had lots of silver charms. Okay, then we had spring, which was full of all kinds of stuff. It's a big fat journal, and it's 2 signatures, and it had all kinds of greens and pink and all kinds of spring things, and it has a fairy charm on the front, and all the charms in this one are gold. And then we had Summer Fairies, which is very pretty, and I'm not opening these up because they're not flip throughs of these. You know, I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a background without trying to take up too much time. So Summer Fairies had a lot of flowers and fairies, and that had lots of rose colored and blue and yellow. So now we come to Autumn Fairies, which is the one that we just did, and that's this one, and I think it turned out really pretty. I like the colors. Let me see if I can move that a little bit. You're still going to see this at the bottom, but you won't see the ring light at the top, so a little bit of a trade-off. So Autumn Fairies, this is also a kit by Victoria Designs, and like I said, this is from last year. It will be on sale for 50% off, not 70, because it's the wrong time. You know, it's from a year ago. So what I did was, on the cover, I did 3 layers. I did a layer of craft paper, craft with a K. Then I did a layer of the colored paper from the kit. It was a green and yellowish kind of a swirly leaf flower pattern. I don't know how to describe it. And then our image layer. Then we also have 3 sections. Remember our rule of 3s, our rule of odd numbers. 3 items that have gloss, triple thick glaze on them. Now all the fairy wings and all the pumpkins and all the butterflies all are going to have triple thick on them, so I'm going to try not to say it too much, but you should be able to see some of it. It doesn't show up that well on camera because it's more of a glaze and not real super thick like glossy accents. Okay, so here's our first page, and we've got some of our gold vine and some fairies and the word autumn and the word fairy, which is raised up. Has a little piece of cardboard underneath it, and then you open this, and you've got a little writing area and some glazed pumpkin, and then we have an acetate belly band with the envelope underneath and the pretty butterfly on the front, pretty envelope on the back, and this flips back. It's held by a magnet. Then this opens up. Now this, these turn like this. And originally, I just had this little brown part of the card, and I didn't take into account the size of the card, and I could have brought these in. Do you know what I mean? But instead, to fix it, instead of getting rid of it and using another card, because I really liked this card and wanted to use it, what I did was I took a piece of one of the pages and I cut it so that it fit on the back, and it also has a fairy and a feather, and they're both glazed. and on the front is a fairy with a feather. So that worked out well. Now the butterflies are glazed. And all these butterflies are treated as well. So like I said, all the butterflies, the fairy wings, and the feathers, and the squash and pumpkins, things like that, have all been treated. This actually fits behind here to hold it shut. So then you can open it, and there's a card inside, which I think I would like it to be this way. Just because. So that closes that way. Whoopsie. And goes under that little vine as a tuck. Then you've got a pocket behind it with 2 little cards. You take the 2 little cards out, and then this envelope opens. I don't have a card in here yet. That slides down. These 2 slide in front. And then there's also a pocket at the top. And I just put the 1 card in. I kind of put it to the side so you could still see the pumpkins. And we got the word pumpkin here. So on the next page, we have a tuck that is from the kit. It came this way as a tuck. And this, the way this is made, it kind of reminds me of Cinderella's chariot and, not chariot, but stagecoach. And I don't know why, because there's no horses or anything, but when I glance at it, it just does. And I don't know, I'm kind of crazy. So then there's 2 cards in the tuck. And they have fairies and things on them. On this side, we have there are places for charms all the way throughout here, but they didn't get here in time for me to put them in for the flip through, because I needed to get the flip through done. And they're going to be autumn colored leaves. So there's going to be a couple of greens, but mostly golds and oranges and browns of the leaves. Okay, so there's several that we've passed so far that I forgot to mention. So there's going to be 1 here and 1 here. Okay, and then these open. This is 1 entire image, and it says crispy, like crispy leaves crunching around in autumn. Then this opens. We've got our little fairy writing area. This one opens. They're held by magnets, and we have our little fairy and a writing area over here. On this side, I love this full image, so I just left it as is. I treated the wings, and then when I put this on, I raised it up. It's got a piece of cardboard underneath it, and then I put glaze on the entire piece. These fold back with magnets. Then we go to the next page. Now this is kind of fun. I didn't put a card behind it, but I could have. This is a belly band with movable fairies on it. Both of them move. They go up and down. Kind of fun. Whee! Anyway, I don't know, it just tickles me for some reason having 2 instead of 1. On this side over here, this is a flip up. This is part of one of the portrait pages, which is the 8.5 by 11 in a portrait orientation. And I cut the top of it off, or the bottom of it off, and flipped it sideways and made it into this flap. So then we open it up, and there's writing area here, and there's a great big one of these over here, and then on the bottom half is some writing area with some treated pumpkins and fairy wings. Then we go to this page, and I like it. It's got lots of pumpkins on it, and it's got this autumn card, and it's a clear up tuck. You put it in, and if you put it over far enough, then you can see the fairy. You just have to kind of keep track of where you're putting it. Okay, now this one is a little interesting or kind of fun. This is the pocket, and you take the card out. It's stenciled on the back. Then instead of it just being a pocket, you fold it down and you have writing space, and then you can fold it down again and you have more writing space, plus a pretty little graphic at the bottom. So that's kind of fun. And this is our center. When I made this, I'll show you the side, the spine and the other cover here in a minute, and then I'll explain how I did that. That's why there's only one cord and no tie in here. On this next page, we have a CD cover with a card, and there's a place for a charm. No charm yet. And the card comes out. Oh, come on. There we go. The card comes out. We cut it so the fairy shows in the window. And we got some fairies down here. A big writing space. And another big fairy disc with the backing paper around it. And it's a card. And it goes in that pocket. And right here are all the definitions of fairy, fairyland, fairy ring, you know, on and on. It's kind of funny that... Oh, I see. Anyway, I was looking at the definitions. I'm reading the paper. And on this side, I had what I thought was a nice little touch, which is instead of just a writing little group of papers on a bulb pen, I had decided to do these little decorative papers. So there's the Fairy Fae, and this piece, and then this piece, which has the notepad look at the top, and this one has the notepad torn out, you know, on the side. And then this large piece on the back, there is a little boy here. He's not a fairy. And I did treat every single one of the pumpkins on this page, as you can see. And they're all held on by this bulb pin. And the bulb pin is held by this altered paper clip. It's got the bulb pin attached. And then when you turn the page, then you see the other half of the altered paper clip. And then here's a card inside of a side tuck. And it says Sweet Fairies. And the card is here. Then on this side are those little file folders that you get in most of the Victoria designs and a lot of the newer kits that you get. They're held shut by this little decorative paper clip. Then you can open them. It says Golden Autumn Fairies. Then you open this one. You can see the next one. They've all been glazed. And then you can see the next one. And then inside of that one are the two cards that come with the kit. Oopsie, that one's upside down. Looks like I need to ink them as well. Shh, don't tell anybody. And then we put the paper clip back. Oopsie. And it holds the clips or the files in. This side is just a pretty page to look at. Nothing specific. I have this untied because this is waxed bookbinding thread, and I don't like the way it lays, you know, when you run the when you run it crisscross across here. So I'm going to replace it with some embroidery floss, I think, or thread. Most people call it embroidery thread. But once it's tied shut, you don't need to untie it. The card just slides in and out from the side. It's a pretty card. I've treated the moths with glaze to kind of brighten them up a little bit. And go back, it goes back in. It really does slide right in there. And then on the last page is a large envelope from the side, held shut with little Velcro dots. We have the large emblem here with the fairy on it, and this little butterfly matches all these butterflies. Of course, you guys know I'm matchy-matchy. And this was actually a coincidence. I did not realize this was just the last one that I had left, and it just so happened to match the page. So when you close this, then here's a place for another charm, and there's a card that's behind here. And then, there we go. And then you have the back of the book, then the back cover, which I like. It says Autumn Fairies all the way down. I was very tempted to make that the cover and do something with it, but I decided not to. And then here on the spine, you'll notice that the elastic goes up and around. It doesn't go down across. So that's nice. And then I cut this paper so that you could see the fairy down here, and then the nice musical staff, and then the lace down here, and then back to the front of the book. Okay, so that's it for this flip through, and I hope to see you in the next video series. Most of the newer video series, the long ones, are going to be posted in the Ko-Fi or coffee shop, and that's ko-fi.com/sweetpeapapers, and there's memberships available there. Some of them give you access to the new videos. You can also buy the new tutorials, because I'm only going to do one a month, I believe, for the free YouTube channel. There's already still 1,100 videos there. So yeah, there's that. Then there's also always the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group and the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group. So you can go hang out there and see everybody's creative posts. And we have, every month, we have a drawing, and we have challenges and giveaways. Well, drawings, I guess, are giveaways. But freebies, sometimes we have freebies every 3 months, all month, and things like that. We do have Freebie Friday, and people donate their freebies for everybody in the group as well. So, well, if I'm going to say that, I might as well say this, which is there's YouTube Tuesdays where you can post your YouTube channel without posting a video. You know, you can post your YouTube video anytime. I'm not like some groups. I don't have a problem with it. I think sharing your creations and how you made them and stuff is a good thing, not a bad thing. Then Wednesdays are off. Then Thursdays is Etsy Thursday. And so you can post your Etsy, your coffee, your website, whatever, in the group, so other people can come check out your shop. Freebie Fridays, and then Show It Saturdays, and then Say Hello Sundays. Okay? All right, well, that's it for this flip through, and I'll see you in the next video series, and thank you for hanging out with me. Bye-bye.